This is the Ford Ranger XLS. This is the most affordable automatic variant of the Ranger. Is it worth our money? Let's find out. The front fascia of the Ranger XLS it looks different from the more expensive variants of the Ranger. You don't get the C-clamp LED headlamps of the other variants. Instead, you get these huge reflector halogens. You also don't get DRLs on the XLS. The grille has a different shape. You don't get the horizontal bar over here that you get on the other variants. The grille itself is finished in both gloss black and unpainted flat black plastic. The XLS also doesn't get fog lamps down here. You get one tow hook down here. Only the wild track variants get two tow hooks. The Ranger XLS gets smaller 16-inch wheels compared to the XLT. The diameter of the tires though is the same because the tire walls here are taller. These are 255/70 R17 Bridgestone Dueler highway terrain tires. This gets double wishbones and disc brakes at the front and a rigid axle with drum brakes at the back. You don't get a lot of chrome accents on the XLS, but thankfully you don't get a lot of flat black plastics either. Like the door handle over here, and also the side mirror covers are painted in body color. You do get some chrome accents over here on the fender vent. Unlike the XL, the XLS gets step boards. Like the other variants, this also gets this step box over here for easier access to the bed. Here at the back, like the XLT, the XLS also gets halogen tail lamps. It gets a body-colored rear bumper with no reverse sensors. And you also don't get a rear view camera on the XLS. The tailgate is unassisted, so it is quite heavy. And you don't get a bed liner on the XLS. Payload capacity is the same as the other variants of the Ranger, which is 1,000 kilograms. The Ranger XLS gets the same 2-liter single-turbo engine as the other variants of the Ranger, except for the top of the line, which gets a 2-liter bi-turbo engine. So this puts out 170 horsepower and 405 newton-meters of torque. It's coupled to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Okay, so we're now inside the Ranger XLS. And at first glance, it looks very similar to the XLT. The main visual difference is the steering wheel. The XLS gets a polyurethane steering wheel, while the XLT gets a leather-wrapped steering wheel. And also, like the XLT, you don't get the push start button here. You have to put the key in the ignition, like so. So now that we have the ignition on, you can see that from a tech perspective, it's very similar to the XLT and also ahead of its competition. This 10.5-inch vertical screen definitely makes the interior look a lot more modern. And it's definitely the best looking in the segment. By the way, it's the same screen that you get on the other variants except for the wild track 4x4. Also, like the XLT, you get a 6-speaker system here. You also get wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. Down here you get one USB-C port and one USB-A port, and you have your 12-volt outlet in here inside the glove box. You also get this 8-inch screen, which looks pretty fancy. It's the same screen that you get on the other variants as well, and as you can see, it has some pretty fancy animation going on here. Built for tough. You get fabric seats as you would expect, and they're both manually adjustable. Thankfully though, you get leather wrapped armrests. This one though is hard plastic. You get single zone air conditioning, and thankfully you get physical knobs and buttons, and you don't have to rely on the screen, although you can also do that if you want to, as you can see. I like how intricate the air vents look. Yeah, so unlike the wild track, you don't get the cup holders over here. but you do get 2 cup holders here on the center console. You also don't get the upper glove box. You only get 1 glove box down here. You don't get cruise control. By the way, the steering wheel tilts and telescopes. Yeah, you got a 6-speed transmission, and you can shift manually using these buttons over here, like the previous Ranger. And you get a manual handbrake, which I actually prefer for a pickup. So definitely a very nice looking interior for a base model, and definitely a lot better looking than some of its competitors. Let's check out the back seat. Okay, so here at the back seat, you get one 12-volt outlet down here. You got some storage over here, and yeah, that's about it. You don't get USB ports or air vents. You also don't get a center armrest. In terms of space, I have about 3 inches of headroom. Also, like the other variants, this gets a secret storage compartment underneath the seats. Okay, there you go. Pull on that, and there. You also have storage over here. At its price of 1,273,000 pesos, the Ranger XLS is the most affordable automatic base model pickup that you can buy from a mainstream brand. It's significantly cheaper than the Hilux G, the Navara VE, the Dmax LSA, and the BT54x2. Now, I've driven all of those pickups, but not yet the new Ranger. So I'll reserve my judgment on refinement and ride quality until I actually get to drive it. But so far, in terms of interior quality, it is ahead of the competition. The XLS is about 101,000 pesos cheaper than the next higher variant, the XLT. And for that price difference, you get C-clamp LED headlamps, which I think look a lot better. You get larger 17-inch wheels, a bed liner, a reverse camera, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, power folding side mirrors, and you also get cruise control. The mechanicals, like the engine, the transmission, the suspension, and also the brakes, are exactly the same between the two variants. I think the price difference is definitely worth it. Mainly because I'm not a fan of the large halogen headlamps of the XLS, but also because of the leather-wrapped steering wheel, the reverse camera, the cruise control. And you have to buy a bed liner anyway, which is gonna eat into your 101,000 peso savings. But if the cosmetic stuff and these things don't matter to you, then the XLS should be a pretty good pickup. It's mechanically the same as the other variants, and it offers a pretty nice interior for the price. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you on my next video.